Hey everybody, welcome to the weekend vid. Let's take a look at the indexes first, start with SPY. So you see SPY did an outside week. How do you do that? Inside day reversal on a Friday, boom. You'll see the lower lows and the higher highs. So the question is, can you get outside of that next week? Maybe we go inside to start the week on Monday. If we go to Qs, hammer week. Weekly magnitude hit, and we called out the simultaneous break on Twitter live for you guys. Then after weekly magnitude, same thing. Inside day, that's a reversal. Boom, up they go. And Dow Jones, you'll see is going up to start the week. So notice it was relatively strong. Slight lower lows, boom, reversal. IWM, let's see, IWM was also not going down last week. So inside day reversal, boom, broadening expansion in IWM. And you'll see the quarterly 2-2 reversal, which we talked about at the beginning of Q3, or actually end of Q2 going into Q3, magnitude hit and then some. Still has got all-time highs in the small cappers to take out. That being said, we're going to have some other really good sector stuff to look at. Give me 1 second. All right, so starting at the top, we're going to see the uranium sector. What do we look for? We look for the lower lows, the hammer signal, the pivot machine gun to remove liquidity and speed prices up. We're going to expect uranium 42.22 next week. And what we'd like to see is something like this. All the way back up there and potentially much further, right? Go to the yearly. If this is right, and we're trading above this, 29.26, we're looking up to 92. And I believe this is adjusted, so we're going to turn adjustment off. Just so we have the proper scenario 3 here. So it's actually right here. So you can see, if we go into these new highs here, what does that do? That's going to take this reclaim of the year here. Where's that going? Potentially up there, right? So we want to be long uranium. Tells the SMR. The hammer week, slight lower lows, hammer, pivot machine gun. We go to Oak Low, hammer week. We go to CCJ, RevStrat, hammer week after triangle layout. Notice the slight lower lows. We like to see that. UEC, hammer week, relative strength up at the highs. UU, the strongest of the bunch, 132 for next week. You'll see on a yearly basis, same thing. This has been a lot higher. So we're going to keep an eye on those uraniums. You can also have BWXT, which, for now is still coming back in after earnings. I believe NRG is another company that tends to move with uraniums, although right now it is not. You can see it's right at the bottom of that broad information. In the energy sector, we're just going to note a lot of the energies went reversal last week. XLE, XOP, OIH. You can see at the RevStrat week. So because of that, these are a little closer to having some pivot machine gun action. So you can see OIH potentially all through these guys. So we want to know about that. And when you look at the week, this 2-2 reversal, what that does is it makes these 2 bars a scenario 3 to this bar. So if we're above these 2 bars, it's going to be a 3-2 expansion on a 2-week chart, which we may or may not see here, right? So at this point we don't, but it is a 2-week 3-2 expansion there. If we go to US oil, 2-2 week last week, you'll see reclaim of the mother bar. So it's trying to go all the way up into around 84. So we'll keep an eye on that, right? And something we talked about with the Strat Alerts guys last week. Domino setups, got Tesla. So you see the hammer week in Tesla here, closer to weekly magnitude at 34898. On a monthly, it's double inside month up. On the quarterly, could become RevStrat quarter back through these guys. So Tesla, this may be time, right? If Tesla's going to break out and everyone's looking for it, that could be it. Definitely want to know about that for certain, in my opinion. Now in the crypto sector, MicroStrategy, something we want to know about too. Triangle layout, lower lows. And this is what we look for, guys. We want the whole market to line up like this. Lower lows, 322 hammer above that. 36806, MicroStrategy. We go to coin, hammer week as well. We go to Bitcoin, not as much. There's some big sellers in Bitcoin on Sunday here. Ripple USD, RevStrat week, pivot machine gun to these guys. Maybe strong enough to take them up. So far, still an inside month for next month. And we'll have precious metals. outside week gold. So anytime we can get out of this broadening formation, we want to know about that. With silver, also the potential 3-2 outside week expansion with full time frame continuity in both of those guys. And then that metals ETF of the hammer week for the 2-2 reversal. Outside of that, we have some miscellaneous here. Figma. So you see Figma shooter countered by hammer. Oh yeah, we look for that. So you can see IPO. This is the first week of IPO. If we can get back into that, we'll be back above where it IPO'd, right? So anyone that was long in IPO, it goes up, then it goes down, and now back up again, right? Back up to IPO prices potentially. They came out, they haven't produced earnings yet. This could be Wednesday, but I genuinely think this company could be, pretty big. Like if you haven't noticed, Figma, this is what we use to build all of our stuff, right? So Figma is not only a design tool that we can use to make, pretty good graphics, which, these were designed by me here. So not the best design here, but allows you to do that. But it's also really good for companies. Every company switching to it. So you're about to have like the whole entire planet switching to Figma for design. And that can only mean good things for Figma, especially since they haven't increased prices yet or done anything of that sort. So we like that. That's my last little tangent here. As far as continuations, we have some longs from last week. SoFi 3-2-2. We like that, right? Same thing as MicroStrategy for next week. So we're going to hold on to that and we'll see. Can we go 3-2 week? Really get SoFi pumping into all-time highs at around 28. And then uranium, we had the longs from last week off the 2-2 day in here. And actually we alerted them down in here around 36. So we'll see if those guys can follow through. We do have NVIDIA earnings next week. So just be aware of that. We got NVIDIA earnings. We also have Figma earnings, which is next month. There's one more I might have been missing. We'll find it on the nightly vids and the morning gap show. So that being said, that's all I've got for you guys tonight. If you're looking for the list, actually did not get to paste that into here yet. I've organized it slightly different tonight, so let me know what you guys think here. But this is what the vid looks like. So it's gonna look like this, organized by sector instead. And it's just something that I'm, messing with. We've always been changing it around, but that's all I've got. Have a good rest of your night. And I'll see you guys Tuesday morning, maybe Monday morning, in the chat. Visit us at stratalerts.ai and adios.